Do you remember the biblical story of Moses carrying these tables of stone around on a mountain? Well, it kind of reminds me of when I often have conversations with e-commerce merchants, and they are frustrated by their website experience. Like, it literally feels like trying to climb a mountain carrying a load of stone on your back. It's difficult, it's cumbersome, it's frustrating. Updating it is difficult. The performance is terrible, and worst of all, it's expensive to maintain because it's using 20-year-old technology or something, so whatever. And it's frustrating. Very frustrating. And in this conversation, where I'm going to boil down 3+ options as far as what does it take in order to solve this problem, get you reset to a good level of technology. My name is Joseph, and I am excited to be able to bring this information to you, to be able to help you grow as a e-commerce manager, as a store manager. I want it to be that your manager looks at the work you're doing and says, wow, you are kicking it. That would make me happy. And that's why I'm putting out this information, to be able to help you solve these problems and really succeed at what you're doing. All right, so the news section first. Number one, AI is everything. We were at eTail East. It was a great conference last week, and I was blown away by everything is AI. AI-powered shipping, AI-powered search, AI-powered pre-search, AI-powered image generation or modification, AI-powered content, everything. Oh, AI-powered translations. Everything is AI-powered. I mean, I literally think that in the next year, we're going to actually see brands emerge that are AI unpowered. They don't use AI. If a brand, one of these brands are these companies, service providers in the e-commerce space, if they do what they say when it comes to AI, that's great as far as always learning. Just had to put that anecdote out. AI is everywhere. Second, the FTC finalizes a rule to combat problems with fake news. Reviews. Now, these reviews cause a lot of problems for retailers, i.e. not Amazon retailers, where product or competitive product might be sold on Amazon and it has 5,000 reviews at average rating of 4.7, and you have 500 and your average rating is 4.2. How does this work, right? So it's difficult. It's just one way that some Amazon sellers have worked the system in a very unhealthy way. So this is a good change, and I hope to see more progress here in this space. Again, putting some of these bigger targets in their place. We also have good news that e-commerce is growing 6.6% year over year in Q2, whereas the brick and mortar retail grew by a whopping 1%. Fabulous. Not really, but it is what it is. So e-commerce is growing. Keep investing in it. Shopify growth this quarter was very good. Last quarter wasn't great. People were saying dump your stock in Shopify. The thing's going down. It's not going down. It's here to stay, and we're seeing growth again. That's the news. I hope you found it helpful. Let's jump into the next section. Again, talking about what to do when our website feels like we're literally carrying a load of rock on our back as we are climbing a mountain. I'm going to give you 3 different options as far as what you can do to offload this load of stone and then turn it into a digital tablet, or maybe even better, a phone. Either way, I'm going to give you some solutions. I'm going to give you actually 3 options here, and I hope that you find this useful in your consideration. Let's look at option number 1. Number 1, you can re-platform to a faster system. So if you're on Adobe eCommerce, maybe you go to Shopify. If you're whatever, it's basically switching the actual platform that you are using. There's pros and cons to this. I have the impact as a 2 out of 3. It is there can be better solutions out there. It just depends on, it's more of a conversation that needs to be had. I put this as the highest risk level of these 3 options. And the reason is there's a lot of change management that needs to happen. Obviously, your web team has to be informed and knowledgeable about this new system. We have to get all the orders and products and customers over formatted, looking nice on this new system, and there can be definitely some costs associated with it. It comes down to a return on investment perspective. There's a lot of cases where this is the very, very best option by a long shot. And so pretty much if you're not happy with your current system, if the back end is slow, there's no way to speed up the user experience if the back end is slow, period. If the back end is slow, if you don't like the platform anymore, if you don't like the company anymore, whatever, like there's a million reasons that you would want to re-platform. I would be lying to say it's the easiest of all of these three options. It's not. It may be easier than other options given a different the context, and maybe for your case, this might be a little different. But overall, this is fairly accurate. So it often has the highest cost. The impact is actually a little bit less than the next one I'm going to talk about, simply because using the front end that these platforms provide is actually not the latest technology. It's really, really, really good technology. It's solid. It's fast. But there's actually has been some evolution past that at this point, such that e-commerce platforms are investing in this number 2 option. And speaking of which, let's jump over there and talk about this. Revise to a new front-end system. This is code word for composable commerce, which is a jargon term that you may or may not have heard of. Basically, what this is let's say you're on Shopify or you're on BigCommerce or Adobe. Again, provided the back-end system is fast, we put in a new standalone front end. So it's basically 2 websites that interact with each other via the API, a programming link. They interact with each other, which means the front end is completely independent, and thus it can be lightning fast. We were literally doing a demo the other day of one of these projects that we're working on, and it's just shocking how fast these websites can be when they're built right. Not built right, they can be as slow as anything else, but built right, like I'm really proud of our team and what they do. Amazingly fast. So this is a very attractive option, and it can work very well. Now, the impact is 3 out of 3 or even better. Like it's really, really good. For search engine optimization, Google loves fast websites. From a perspective of user interaction, again, just lightning fast page load times. Really good. For being able to inject content in from a specialized system exactly designed for this, like Contentful, really good. Being able to integrate other systems like a CRM tracking or event tracking. There's a whole bunch that can be done here. I put the risk as 1 out of 3 because this is like a seamless new website that's dropped in on the front end. You can literally take the new website, this front end, and turn it off and have people go from the back end in, or turn it on and then people access this new system. So either way, it's like the old system still works and the new system still works. It's basically interchangeable, which is great. From a risk perspective, that mitigates a lot of the risk. I say the cost is 2 out of 3. It can be a toss-up between replatforming and the new front-end system, but technically speaking, it can actually be a little bit less. So I put it as 2. It's between 2 and 3 here for that. So revising to a new front-end system, i.e. composable commerce. We literally have a book coming out here in the next couple weeks about composable commerce. Goes into all the ins and outs about this, all the pros and cons, reasons to do it, reasons not to do it. Very forthright information about this. Now, the final option is to retheme your current website. So what I see as one of the biggest reasons that a website is slow is the theme or the look that was installed. We think of a prepackaged theme, $300 on Shopify, about the same on Adobe Commerce, and we can drop this theme in and voila, it works. It's going to look great. And wait, the performance sucks. That's literally what happens. And by ditching those customized themes, it's literally going to start being fast again. Not in all situations, but generally speaking, that's going to really help. So the impact, I put this as the lowest because, again, there's this tight coupling with your backend system. And so, and it's really tight. So there's a lot of things that can start slowing it down. So that's why I put the impact as the lowest. I mean, all 3 of these, it's are going to have an impact, a really positive impact. The question is how much, and that's why I put this in the 1, 2, or 3 category of how much impact it's going to have. The risk, it's going to be the highest. Again, this is prepackaged, this works together, and so if something goes wrong in the deploy process, if something goes wrong in the development process, was overlooked, we can start running into problems there. I put the cost as the lowest because it's all tied together. It's the easiest of all these 3 options, and the actual implementation cost will be the least. Now, what would this look like? So for Adobe Commerce, there is a theme, and you're saying, well, now he's talking about a theme. Well, Whova, this theme is different. HYVA with those 2 dots over the Y, and then 2 dots. It's different, and what I would consider is the default theme for Adobe Commerce. It's not expensive, one-time cost. It's well done, well built. The people at Whova are brilliant. Love those people. So Whova is your best option there. Looks good out of the box. Secondarily, for Shopify or BigCommerce, use the default theme and customize it. Generally speaking, the themes for those websites, those platforms, they're just slow. They're trying to accommodate 5 different styles in one package. Buy one, get 5 free is kind of how the deal works there. It does not work well there. So retheme your current website is a really solid option, and it's the biggest pro for it is budget. If your budget drives us into that direction, it's a good option, solid choice, but it's going to have less impact than some of those other options. Now, the final one would be to try to clean up your existing theme. I do not recommend that unless there is so much technical debt, it's going to drive the cost through the roof. We don't want to do that. So there can be a case for fixing up your existing system, and if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But I would strongly recommend that we focus on one of these other 3 options. The start over fresh is going to lead you in the direction of a solid foundation, ready for the next 5 years, and able to tackle the competitive challenges that are lying ahead. Take care, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.